everyone, it's Rob here from Maple Tree Homestead. Today I am going into the woods and I'm going to cut some firewood for next year. It's December now, and if I whittle away at it through the winter, I'll have plenty of wood dry for next year. And this will be the wood that we burn in our own house. I am selling some firewood next year, but that'll be stuff that I buy and process from Log Length. So what I'm doing now is just our own personal wood for next year. And I've got some really big ash trees on the property that kind of consume a lot of canopy space that I want to release the maples around them and get some more light down onto the forest floor. So that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to try and weasel some ash out of the woods without doing too much damage. So bear with me, and we'll see how it goes. We got that big snowstorm. You probably saw my plowing video. We got 18, well, probably 16 inches. There's probably 14 settled on the ground right now. So it'll be, there's a lot of snow, and there's a lot of snow in the canopy. So it should be interesting. You'll see me working with my hood up a lot today, I think. So with that said, let's get after it. So today's a day that I don't mind putting chaps on. If you guys didn't know, I got a new saw. I got the 572 XP. I had that Domar. I still have it. I'm going to use it. Oop. There we go. I'm going to use it as a backup saw. It's a good little saw, but it's a 56cc saw, and cutting firewood, it was tedious at best. So this is the first time I've carried this in the woods with me. I've cut up, bucked up some firewood with it, maybe a third of a cord, and it works great. It's not the first one I've had. I had a steel 441. That was a nice saw. I liked it. And then I had, I think, a 60, I don't know, it was like a 65cc or thereabouts, Husqvarna before that. I've had a lot of chainsaws through the years. I still have my father's original chainsaw. It's a pretty funny story about that one. My sister, when I was younger, they bought a house and they heated it almost exclusively with a wood stove. It was an old Nashua. It was a nice stove for its day. But we cut up firewood for her, and Dad bought, first of all, he bought a truckload of logs, and he bought a steel 031 saw. And I ran that saw when I was a teenager, just cutting up firewood, figuring things out. And time elapses, and Dad is probably in his 80s. I'm out of the military. I've moved back here, and he said, "Hey, you want that old saw that I have?" And I knew it was that old 031. I said, "Sure, I'll take it." You know, probably not going to use it, but you know, it was just kind of nostalgic for me. And he still had it in the case. You know, I ran that saw more than anyone probably through the years, so it didn't have a lot of hours on it. And it still had the manual with it in the case. Now, mind you, this was like the late 70s, early 80s when he got this saw. And so I'm reading through the manual. It was that year of the saw, a chain brake was optional. Yeah, he chose not to get that option. We don't need that crap. Now you can't even get someone to work on it without a chain brake on it. So it's just, like I said, it's just something that's taking up space in my shop. But it means something to me, and that's probably all it'll ever be, is just a nostalgic thing that sits in the corner of the shop. So anyways, enough about chainsaws. Let's figure out a tree to cut down here. I'm trying to get them handy to the out to the tractor. I don't want to be coming into the woods. This is just anything I can grab. So I've got this one. It's not a huge one, but there's maples around. I got a cherry there I can cut too. So let's get this ash down first. There's no rhyme or reason to which way this thing is gonna fall. It looks like it goes straight up in the air. So it might require a wedge or two. Well, maybe not. That'll work. All right. I'll see if I can set you up where you can see. All right, I'm gonna set you down, and then I'll turn you back on. All right, I'm gonna start it up and let it warm up. And I have a lot of people telling me how to cut down trees, and I appreciate the advice, but I'm one of those old guys that just does it the way I've always done it. I know there's right ways to do it and there's wrong ways to do it. And I probably do it the wrong way, but I usually go down and I usually don't kill myself, so I'm in the bonus round. It's just really awkward for me to make that top cut and then cut up from underneath to make that bottom cut. I'm old, my shoulders don't work quite right. So I do it the way I've always done it. Thanks for the advice though. All right, anyone that knows me knows I'm gonna go get the skid winch now. I'll be back. All right, so I'm gonna set this up so it twists the tree off and it'll break that wedge. In theory, works most of the time. We'll see. So my hope is it's going to pull this and it's going to twist it around and it'll drop off to that side and it'll pull the canopy out of the trees without breaking a bunch of stuff trying to get it down on the ground. And I see a lot of guys will make a bunch of cuts up it. I don't do that crap. That's why I have a tractor with a skidder winch on it. sometimes you gotta admit defeat. All right, well, that's on the ground. Didn't go exactly how I wanted it, but it turned out pretty good. There's a big maple over behind it, not a huge maple, but a nice maple. And I've broken one branch on it, but it was surrounded by maples and a big white pine. Not huge, but big enough. So it's out with very little damage, and that's what I wanted. Now I'm going to cut it into 2 sections, and this will probably heat our house for you know, a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks. Doesn't take much to heat that new house of ours, so so it's good. I get a couple dozen more of these and we'll be good. All right, I'm gonna take you out. Got a old sugar line here. I'm gonna rebuild this. It's junk. So now that I'm not building a house, for the most part, anyways, I can spend a little bit more time doing things I want to do. So I'll set you up out here somewhere where you can see. I don't know where's the best spot. Maybe right over the top. Let's see. Well, maybe back over on the other side. I gotta limb that out. right, a little finagling. Pinched my saw over there. I was more worried about the tree rolling back on me than where I was cutting. So, happens. We got it out. So, I'm gonna pull these logs out, and then maybe we'll move on to another one. I don't know, we got that cherry over there. I got that dead cherry there. I don't like cutting dead trees. They make me nervous. All right. Sorry, you got a runny nose. Just what everyone wants to see, right? Probably not. Have to do the, as one of my childhood friends would call it, a snot rocket. We're not going to be doing that on video. My sisters watch this. So, anyways, let me get hooked up here and we'll get this pulled out. Alright, I'm going to go hook up to that other log and get it turned around here so you can see stuff. One of my friends used this skid winch last, and they put the chains on backwards and they all get locked in. So maybe I'll show you at the end of this video how I put the chains onto the winch, just so when they're in transport, that way when you go to pull them off, they come off pretty easy. That's one way of getting old sugar lines down. That might even be the preferred method that I use. All right, let me show you something about these this skidder winch. First of all, see how that's hooked on there? That's nice and easy. If it's flipped around the other way, it locks in over here. So that's the way I hook them on. You have these slots down here, and they're supposed to be for when you're skidding actual trees out. I don't use it. I have a buddy that had one, and he never used the damn things, and that thing's pulled more trees than most skidders. I don't worry about it. I understand why they're there, and I know you guys really desperately want me to use them, just like you want me to do a notch different, but I'm not gonna. So let's pull these trees out of here, or this tree, and new saw, old saw, saved the day today, got me out of a pinch. I'll set you up in the tractor and we'll get after it. That's something new. Haven't done that before, but I can see it happening. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Why the grapple wasn't releasing the log. It was pivoting underneath it every time I didn't have the pins in. I'm surprised it didn't come off. Oh well. That's why I don't do it for a living. It's really hard work. This grapple, but I'm considering getting a frostbite type grapple that's a little bit narrower, just for bucking up firewood. When you're holding it with the grapple, you get to a certain point in this one, you got to stop and either drop it or readjust on it. I just drop it. All right, I'm gonna buck this up into, I do 14-inch pieces because I've got a small stove, and I generally do 14 anyways, just because no one really complains about getting 14-inch pieces, but people will complain about getting over 16. You know, if you're doing 16s and you mistakenly cut an 18, people don't like that because it won't go into a lot of the wood stoves up here. I don't cut boiler wood, so 14 inches, everyone's happy. If I miscut one and it's 16, no one complains about it. So that's why I do 14 inches. All right, I'm gonna end this video right here with me just bucking up this one log, and I'll call it a day. I'm gonna try and go in and get some editing done, and maybe I'll come back out this afternoon after lunch and get some more done. But glad you could follow along and see my mistakes of the day. It's not typical, but it happens. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.